Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're joining us on Facebook, please give us a like, a comment, and share this out to any of your friends you think might enjoy our little brand of humor. If you're watching on YouTube, on the YouTube Woo Woo and excuse me, Woo Woo on YouTube channel, please give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe. Share it with your friends. Oh my gosh, we are growing so fast, and I want to grow even faster. So thanks for your help. My name is Gayle Nicholson. I am word witch, dragon slayer, and all around metaphysical practitioner with creative command coaching and consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. Oh my gosh, the work she does with crystals and the way they, oh my God. Yeah, she's awesome too. And Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski, one of our what do I even want to say about you, my dear? You're just freaking amazing. The things that you do,
Yes.
the little packages you put together. I'm still using that oil that you sent out. It's wonderful. If you have not got the head to toe from Damaris, you really need to. You really need to. You can't tell today because I got my hair up in a I've been cleaning the house pony. But it's just wonderful things for my long, thin, frizzy springtime in Michigan hair. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Damaris. Awesome stuff. Well, I want to begin today by putting out a call to arms from the coven, please. All of you watching today, thank you for watching. If you're watching on replay, you as well. One of our dedicated listeners, Allison Baker, has had a family member, I believe it's her brother, was in a horrendous car accident. I think May 1st, almost 48 hours ago now. He's in the ICU. He's got multiple injuries of many different sorts. And I'm asking each and every one of you to take a few moments right now or right after the show and send him all of your best healing energy that you can muster. This is going to be a long road ahead for Allison and her family. Send them all as much love as you can. And Allison did reach out to find out what kind of crystals and energetics that she could use to help support her brother's recovery. So I'm going to slide that over to Krista because she's got the best info on that.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Gayle. And again, I am going to reiterate what you just did. Wow, I am so sorry for Allison's brother and what little that she shared on our Facebook page and chat. And I read as we were pulling in, with our hair on fire to get here. You guys will understand that here too shortly. I sent out a post that essentially the first thing, because there's a lot of internal stuff, whether it's bruising, that she was talking about. The best thing to do is you want to go from the inside to the outside. It is my sense. So Reiki is the best way. There's a lot of inflammation too. I'm sensing when I was feeling into the energy, because of course your body's in crisis mode, your body's in protection mode. So what does it do? It, all these white blood cells go out to do this work, and that creates a lot of inflammation. So for that, my first suggestion in this case, every case is a bit different, is to get something like bloodstone, red jasper, or mookaite, because that is going to help you with inflammations. That's going to help you with anything that's about cleaning and clearing, which, there's some kidney and spleen, she said, bruising, I think is what I read. So those stones help to support that. Now, Gayle, a couple weeks ago, was also in an accident. She broke her ankle and her foot. And I, was like, oh, well, for that, automatically it's selenite. Now, there are broken bones, from what Allison was also explaining. Selenite is good, but not quite yet.
That's where I was hesitating. It's like, oh, she told me this, but I just felt like this is not the time for it yet.
No,
I
not
can
yet.
actually send her some bloodstone and jasper, because I have a lot of those, because I used to have the store. So
Yeah,
I can send them to her. I'll just find out her address.
Now
and
listen,
I'll
DM
donate
Damaris
those.
your snail mail address if she doesn't have it already, please.
Yeah, I'll send them to her.
definitely. And then, but yeah, so I'm glad that you're giving me a couple of minutes, and there's a reason why I want to explain it. So selenite is really awesome, and it's a high vibrational energy, and it's really great for helping bones knit back together, which, by the way, that's what happens when our bones break. They literally knit back together. And so if there's a lot of inflammation when the bone is trying, and you're using selenite to try to help bring that together, it doesn't benefit. It doesn't make it a neat seamless connection, because there's way too much. Your body is fighting, it's like fighting itself to heal almost. Mm-hmm. So you want to leave the selenite until the inflammation is down. And this goes for anything. So this part is something, and I can say from my own experience, is that if you wait for the inflammation, then you add the selenite, it works a lot faster. But I found, at least through the x-rays, that it's a really nice heal, if you will. But the bloodstone and the red jasper right now is really good for helping with that bruising, that internal bruising, and it will help to process a lot of stuff through. Now, there are other things, and I said to Allison, so if you guys read what I said begin with.
Yeah.
Begin with. This is a multi-step process. My ultimate thing at the moment is Reiki. I would say Reiki for healing and for definitely keeping the pain. I don't want to say the pain at bay, because of course you're going to be on all those funny pain medication.
But it does kind of mute the alarm, if you will. If pain is alarm, hey, something's going on over here.
It will
Reiki
help.
Comes in, the pain alarm goes, okay, you're doing something about it. I get it, but there's still something wrong.
Yeah. And it calms a person to help let the other the medicine side of everything help do what it needs to do. So Reiki it complements what's already happening when your body's in crisis mode, because that's what happens when you're in an accident. Especially, I mean, I saw the picture of that car and I'm like going,
I haven't looked. I have to look.
Oh my God. I
haven't looked at it.
He walked away.
And we're just here to help.
Yeah.
I actually have these healing bears. We have Reiki, symbols on them in prayer. And I have a bunch of them that I created. What I'll do is I'll send her the healing bear with the stones that you mentioned.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A care package.
And that'd be and that's wonderful. And then Allison, I also said that if he's open for it, I will set up, just message me. I'll happily do a whole distance Reiki, crystal, everything when I get home tomorrow. And then, that does help, and it works. And we can, not necessarily through our show at the moment, but we can decide exactly and make it a little more specific. So if you message, Damaris, message me, message Gayle. I mean, you can do a group chat with the three of us.
Definitely.
Then that way we can really help you come up with that, a way that you can help support your brother.
Excellent. All right. Now, thank you so much for that, Krista. Is there anything more that you want to say?
Not right now. No, okay. That's good.
Because I want to insert our disclaimer, okay? None of us are medical professionals. This is not medical advice or diagnosis or anything like that. We are just three little old ladies with a lot of life experience and how energy works, and we're just here to help.
There we go.
I don't know about I don't know about
fine.
I'm like,
three middle-aged old ladies. It doesn't quite sound as... Three middle-aged ladies. Yeah.
I consider myself still pretty kick-ass. So.
Me too.
Me too.
Hey, 60 is the new 40, honey.
I know. There you go. And I'm like, I'm working it.
There you go. Awesome stuff. So yes, we love you very much.
Yes.
Keep us posted. Let us know what's going on. Continue asking questions if you have questions.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And we're sending you all, your entire family, your brother included, as much love as possible in this very, very moment. Yes. All right, my ladies.
Yes, ma'am.
How was your week? How is the weather? I mean, I know it's kind of fluctuating there, and I mean, it's fluctuating everywhere. It's spring. Yeah. It's like summer, psych, here in Michigan.
You got to go out with your umbrella, your flip flops, your coat, your scarf.
Yep. Layers are the key.
Layers are the key where we are. So I'm not at home. I'm traveling right now. And I'll tell you what, if anybody wants to guess or wants to put, I'll say this, I haven't left the Netherlands. So if you want to put what part of the Netherlands, drop it in the chat and see if you can guess at the end of the, I mean, you'll kind of get clues where I'm at too, but we're traveling and we're kind of in a really neat area at the moment. But yeah, we've all been going out, the three of us.
So far, haven't you? You're not too far from The Hague.
No, right? I'm not too far from The Hague. I was just in The Hague. Okay. And it took us what? How long? 40 minutes to get back, 30 minutes to get back. It was only supposed to be 30, but it took a little longer because there was traffic to where I'm at. Yeah. And then like yesterday, so I'll give you this. I was in The Hague today, and yesterday we were in Gouda, which everyone pronounces as Gouda, but really it's Gouda.
Is that where the cheese comes from?
Is Gouda. Yes.
Okay. Ooh, I thought it was the other pronunciation.
I know, we all did. It's okay. Every English speaking country says it wrong.
Well, to be fair, I can't pronounce mozzarella the Italian way either. I love that. We just Americanized the shit out of Europe's cheeses.
It's okay. It's all good. So yeah.
Wisconsin went with cheddar. You can't.
There you go. Cheddar. That's easy, right? Cheddar. Yeah. So the weather, but we've been going out. So I have my winter coat. I have a fleece. I have my raincoat, which is also a windbreaker. We have scarves. We have gloves. We have hats. We go out and I throw everything in the car. And I'm like, well, we'll see. I'll see what weather it is when I arrive where I'm at. Because I'm like, it's crazy. Yesterday we were peeling our clothes off, and today I'm like, okay, I need a layer, and then it's like, oh no, now I need to take it all off. Oh no, and Kevin's like, oh, that's just because you're having hot flashes. I'm like, no, this isn't me having hot flashes. I think Mother Nature is having hot flashes. Are y'all in Rotterdam? Oh, well, that's a good guess. Not quite, but I am not far from Rotterdam as well. Yeah. How far are we from Rotterdam, Kevin? Is that another 30 minutes? Yeah. So I'm also 30 minutes from Rotterdam. Yes. Who's going to pull their Google out and actually kind of figure it out?
So funny.
That's awesome.
It's all good. It's so much fun. Hey, look, we're having a good time.
We are.
I like quizzing people of being in new and unique places.
Oh, yes. That's a Tracy Paquin question. Delft.
Oh, Delft. Yes, I'm very close to Delft, but not in Delft. We wanted to be in Delft. Delft was one of the places we were trying to get to, but not enough time.
Now, again, isn't Delft where they make the blue painted china?
Yes, the blue and white. And it's Delft. We add the T to it, and I'm just as guilty. I am just as guilty. And I was saying that earlier today. I'm like, I have to stop putting the T. It's just Delft.
I'm having flashbacks to Avengers now. It's Budapest.
It is. It's Budapest. And it is Budapest.
It is Budapest.
And it's and Pest. They're two different or were two different cities that have become one.
Like Minneapolis, St. Paul.
There you go. And yeah, they're separated by a river.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were in Budapest. We were in Budapest in August last year, I think is right. Yeah, August. Kevin's shaking his head. Nice. So Kevin can hear us. He's just
awesome stuff.
And Phil decided to save himself, and he's like, "I'm out of here."
Too much estrogen in the room. I'm leaving. Okay, so how have you guys been dealing with, or maybe it's just me, but this has been a heck of a black moon, new moon, solar eclipse, Beltane, steamroller, sleep.
Yeah,
you've got to be kidding me. Week for me. You know, I'm up at, for a couple of days. It was 4:00 every night.
Yes.
You know, and then last night it was like 2:45. That was weird.
The witching hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last night I had to get out of bed. I could not fall back to sleep. It's like, and then I get on and I see a post from the Schumann Resonance page, and it was just like, painted
a lot.
Just
the next 5 months are gonna be erotic, chaotic.
Erotic and chaotic? I'm kind of liking that idea. Tell me more.
It's a lot.
Woohoo! Spin that wheel.
You like the erotic part.
Yeah, I'm like, she's caught up in the whole erotic aspect of it all. Yeah, that's that Dragon Slayer coming out with those red Santa boots.
I put a post on my Facebook page, and it said, you know, if I get abducted by aliens, it's not really an abduction. It's really a rescue.
I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect. And I couldn't share it because there's too many people in my life that are going, oh, what happened now?
Yeah. No, it's just
do you guys get that? Do you get people that kind of like judge you based on what you share on Facebook?
Yes.
You know, like if something is snide and it just catches my sense of humor on a chunky day, you know, people will be into my messenger going, what happened?
That's when you respond, obviously your life isn't interesting.
It's not on a personal level, it's on a global scale, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right, my love. Damaris, are you ready to do your thing?
I'm ready.
Right. Woohoo.
Yeah, we need music still.
I know. What happened to the music?
Well, here's the thing. On the beginning, when the music is behind the video, the mics are muted, so we can't talk over the intro and the outro. But when I hit for your introductions, there's a possibility that we could be talking over them, and it's not so inappropriate to be talking over them. But I think they're a little bit long. I think I got to back that down to like 5 seconds or something, because we're kind of sitting there for 3 or 4 seconds going, come on. So sorry. And that's your backstage view of Three Things in the Woo today. Join Patreon to get even more before we start the show. All right. So Damaris, you have the floor, my love.
All right. So there's a lot going on in Taurus, right? So Taurus, the eclipse from the 30th, April 30th, we're still sort of like, you know, going through, you know, the remnants of that eclipse. So that, you know, each eclipse is almost like a game changer. This one particularly is stirring up, you know, things that we haven't even looked at before. So again, like I was saying last week, things that we haven't noticed is coming to the surface, and it's stirring up a lot of things that, you know, because we have been so distracted with so many things that have been going on, we haven't been paying attention, so to speak. And so this eclipse is bringing up and really disrupting a lot of things so that we can become aware of things that we haven't noticed in the past. So we have the Sun and Uranus are going to be at the same exact degrees on the 5th, right? So they're both in Taurus, and they're going to be at 14 degrees in the sign of Taurus, the Sun and Uranus. That right there.
Sorry, but there is a really bad joke
Go ahead.
formulating itself in my head right now.
Uranus,
Taurus, the Sun. Your personality is so stubborn, your head's right up your ass. And there's something along those lines.
Well, Uranus.
I'll work on it. I'll come back.
Taurus is a sign that's very fixed. It also rules resources, right? So it's almost like Uranus is sudden and it's quick. It's, it brings changes that are permanent. But because Taurus is so fixed, it doesn't want change. It wants to stay stuck to the old. But Uranus is not having it. It is just not having it. It's going to rip the rugs from underneath, us. And it's going to bring us into a change that we may not want, but there is no other way about it. We have to just go with the flow and with the changes. What it's doing is disrupting old systems that no longer serve us. And it's bringing updated systems that have to deal with finance, has to deal with resources. And so by the time these eclipses are all said and done, we're going to see a lot of change with monetary, the banking, monetary systems. Ultimately, we will have freedom, financial freedom. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it will, because all of these systems that really haven't been working for the people are going to shift. And I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of changes going on that may not be in the mainstream media, but if you look, deeper, you will see that there's a lot of changes going on with that. Again, like I said, the Taurus energy does not want to move. It's fixed, but there is no, two ways about it. We have to sort of like also, because of the number 4, we have to sort of like clean house. Whatever's not serving us in our home, say, we have to declutter it. We have to get rid of it. Right now, as we speak, not that I planned it that way, I'm doing just that. I'm decluttering, I'm changing things, I'm painting, I'm just, it's just like getting rid of what I don't want anymore, or giving it away, and just cleaning house. And we all have to do that. Maybe not necessarily with objects, but sometimes with relationships too, that no longer serve us, or that we, are not in alignment with where we're going, or what we want to do in life. So those relationships have to be cleared out. It's just the way it is. The number 4 coincides with this whole thing in Taurus. The number 4 is ruled by Pluto, and it's the destroyer and the creator. So we have to destroy what no longer serves and recreate things on a better foundation, on a concrete foundation. All structures are unstable right now. All of them, including our own structure, our body is all unstable right now. So we have to take care, self-care. We have to, again, our car, that's a structure too that we use to get from point A to point B. So all of these structures can be unstable right now with this Uranus energy. It could also bring earthquakes because it's in the sign of Taurus. So weather problems, we can have weather issues with this Uranus energy. The number 4, and as I was thinking about this to talk about today, the number 4 also represents the 4 layers of the levels of consciousness. So the physical layer, the emotional, the mental, and then the spiritual. Those are the 4 layers we need to reconstruct. We need to sort of like check all those layers out, our physical body, how are we feeling? Are we exercising? Our emotional being, our mental being, and also the spiritual layer. We need to sort of balance those. The other day I saw a video, and is this man. He was at a Costco and he was wearing a mask, but the employee at Costco wasn't. And he was like spraying him with pepper spray and telling him to stay away from him. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this man is really like in fear mode, and he doesn't want anybody near him. And he's willing to pepper spray people. Like, I feel like that's a mental imbalance.
Dude, Costco.com, stay home.
I know. He felt like the man, the employee coming near him without the mask was, going to,
obviously it was some sort of threat to him on some level.
Yes.
But
and so he was going to pepper spray him. And so the employee was like, I'm going to call the cops. You need to leave. You can't be doing this, but he's just in such a fear-based, mentality that he sees everybody as a threat. So I feel like mental psychosis is going to be a problem,
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
It is. And yeah, this is, by the way, Mental Health Month, just as everybody knows. Being awareness, but no, that's wow.
It's going to be a problem. I really believe it is, because, watching mainstream media has made everybody so fearful.
Not just mainstream media. I mean, hello, how much?
Some of the conspiracy media is way worse than mainstream is right now.
For me, I think
it's all over, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your particular feed is, because and that's what I think a lot of people miss in the way that the world is right now, is that these algorithms have got us down to such a pinpoint photograph of who we are, what we like, what we want to see, and we're literally being given our own version of the world through our social media.
Yes.
And we think that the rest of the world is seeing the same version like it was 40, 50 years ago when everybody tuned into Johnny Carson, when everybody tuned into Walter Cronkite, It's not. This is your personalized view of the world being given back to you for you to go, yay, I'm right. But it's not reality.
Yes.
It's not.
But it's really, I feel like we're going to have a problem, especially during these 4 or 5 months that, are up ahead until October, because there's just so much that is going to make people go into a frenzy as well, and again, a lot of chaotic environments and situations. And I think that prayer is the weapon. I really do. My weapon anyway, where I'm like, I'm going to sit home and just like stay away, and just pray for the world, because we need world peace. But the Uranus energy and also the North Node is in Taurus, and that the North Node is also, it's what's coming into the future, right? What the world needs to shift. It really does, because Taurus rules resources. It rules Mother Earth. It rules all of that. How are we going to make a better foundation for the future? And that's the number 4, because Pluto is the destroyer and the creator. So we all need to put our heads together and create a better foundation, because everything is just so unstable.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. I can see it. I can see definitely. And I'm right there with you. I'm looking around this room that's my studio, and there's boxes everywhere. And there's all these beautiful photographs that I've taken over the years and stuff. And I just don't have room for it all. So I've really
to condense.
Yeah, I've been going through this process of, okay, does this serve me now? Mm-hmm. How can this serve me now?
Hypothetically speaking, if God forbid there's an earthquake or something and we have to evacuate or something, you know what I'm saying? We have to condense. And this is what we have to be in preparedness. Not that I'm saying that that's what I want, but we have to make our lives simple and just, keep it, be prepared. Be prepared for anything that's to come within the next 5 months, because these planets are just chaotic.
Yeah. Well, Miss Krista, we have 2 more guesses for where you're at.
Okay.
Is this one of them?
No, but I need to look that one up. I don't know where that is.
Larimar? Okay, and then we have this one.
No, 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 not there. But I like it. Oh, keep guessing, peeps. Come on, keep guessing.
How do you even pronounce that one?
I don't know. It's shipping Luden. It's Luden. It's shipping Luden. And so
Shipfluiden.
It's a tongue twister is what it is.
So Schiphol is the where the airport is. Okay. Is where the airport here in Amsterdam is. I'm not there, but we're about 30 minutes from there as well. So,
so we can triangulate. We've got 3 areas that she's 30 minutes from now.
I am. Where she's at. Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes, maybe not even quite. Yeah, no, about 30 minutes because we were 20 minutes from the hotel that we stayed at on Saturday.
Now, is it a fairly larger village that we would in America know the name of? Like if we heard it, because like Schlappuiden and Zettermeer, I would never have pulled either of those words out of my head.
I'll give you, okay, let me see. Kevin, the book that you have, what's the name of the artist? Rembrandt.
Oh.
Is that right? Rembrandt. Kevin said, yeah. So Rembrandt, for those of you who are art lovers, he spent his youth in the town, they call it city, but I think of it's more of as a town that is next door to where I am at. And I will give you another clue. Where I'm at is it's a small town. And you might not get exactly where I'm at, but see if you can guess where Rembrandt spent his youth. And then I'll give you the rest.
No Google, people.
Yeah.
Hey, have fun with it. If it gets people thinking, why not?
There you
I'm
go.
all about that. It's a great thing.
Good point.
It's a great thing.
Speaking of thinking, think about this.
Okay.
I gotta fix the music on that. Sorry. All right, Miss Krista, what do you got going on this week?
We have a great crystal of the week. It's Larimar. It is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this stone. And it is known as a dolphin stone, the mermaid stone. It is one that is found. It's also known as the Atlantis stone. The Stephilla stone. I just learned that right now. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. It is a sodium calcium silicate stone, which is extremely rare. And it's really only found in only found in one location, which is down in the Caribbean, and that's the Dominican Republic. There are 2,000 open shafts of that mine for it at the moment. So, and it was only discovered. They figure in 1916 was when it was discovered, but really not come into play, if you will, until the late 70s, early 80s. Really? So it's not what we would call a old, run of the mill kind of stone. It's one that actually is considered to be very new. And it can be on the pricey side if you get a gorgeous piece of Larimar. It all depends. I have a piece and I absolutely love it. I haven't worn it. I'm going to have to see why. Hasn't been calling to me, but I think I will tell you this. With what Damaris was just saying, I think it's one that needs to go into circulation for me to be wearing. So here's why. Larimar is a great stone to help us with our communication. But it's not just to help, you're like, okay, Krista, another communication one, another one that opens and works with the throat chakra. So this one goes a little bit deeper. One of the things, if you show, can you put, Gayle, that picture of Larimar back up? look at the photo here of the Larimar. Do you see how much movement was in there?
Mm-hmm.
And there's flow in there. Well, that is one of those things, like all those crackles that look like they're rippling of the ocean and everything, which just is, for me, makes it stunning, goes a little bit deeper for us when it comes to communication, because it helps us to communicate those things that are hard for us to say, or it helps us listen better to those thoughts from others that are hard for us to hear. So you have your blue lace agate, which is great for communication, opening the throat, opening the ears to hearing, and then you add in with some of the deeper blues and the brighter blue, not dark blues, but the deeper, richer blues and the brighter blues. It all resonates right here. Well, for the Larimar, because of the flow within the stone, it really helps us to move forward with that communication and expression in our life. Now, from a spiritual aspect, and the way that what Damaris has been expressing, is it will help us understand things that maybe we're hearing, but we aren't necessarily able to process. So, how Damaris was saying, letting go of essentially old paradigms, old thought processes, and moving into the new ones, whether it be with money, structure, or whatever the case may be. Well, that's where it takes you into that deeper aspect. It helps you to navigate it without overwhelm. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm learning, I have to pause when a new concept or something new, even though I'm really open to hearing it, I give myself that moment of pause to really allow myself to process whether it's something that's for me, or whether I know that I need to go I need to do it slightly different, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't try to jump on the bandwagon. I try to listen to the song first.
Nice.
Does that make sense? I listen to the song, then I decide if they're playing one that, I can get down to that or not. So when you're working with some of this energy and even processing, whether or not what you have in your life is of service to you anymore. And that's not just belongings. That can be people. That can be, just maybe you're somebody who walks to work, right? Or the way you drive to work. Maybe that direction that you walk or that you drive is not for you anymore. Maybe you need to take a different path. Those are just simple things that you can do. It's, in order to make a great change or even a great shift. And we don't think about how much doing something small like that can affect.
It's the 4 layers too that we all have to look at,
Yeah.
Well, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
And it is. And so one of the things this one, or the Larimar, works with is it works with that. It allows us to really tap in, because remember, we refer to it as the Atlantean stone. So anytime we're referring to a stone that's from related to Atlantis or Larimar, no, or Lemuria.
So, I wonder.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. Or Lemuria. We're looking at old codes and older older knowledge and ancient wisdom, if you will. So that's kind of what it is. And it helps us tap into what is so not necessarily what is everybody else's, because when you start to understand you, you're going to start to understand where it is that you fit in. You know, and I can't think who said it, the expression, but if you believe in nothing, you're always going to find that you're falling for everything.
Yeah. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
There you go. And it's, you know, sometimes we
ain't having that.
Sometimes we need to really stand for something, and it's okay to change what you stand for as well as knowledge, as you know, as you grow in knowledge and experience, and your wisdom shifts and change. Because I'll tell you, some of the things I believed when I was 20 something aren't necessarily what I believe at 50,
right.
51. And, you know, and by the time I'm 61, I may, you know, there'll be another shift. And
if you look at the world the same way at the age of 40 as you did at 20, you have not grown.
Yeah.
You just haven't. I mean, more information comes in, right? And the more that we can shift and modify our positions based on the new information, the more we're more able to survive evolving, right? Because that's really what evolving is. It's not survival of the fittest. It's survival of the most adaptable, right?
Yeah.
And
you know, it's funny.
Here's the side rub about it. And then I'll give it to you. Here's the side rub about it. As you change your perception based on new information, those who have failed to grow with you will call you a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it fly. Go ahead, Damaris.
Well, because Taurus is a fixed sign, and that's what we're talking about today. Taurus needs to learn to be adaptable, flexible, you know, and that's exactly what you're talking about. That's what we all need to do, really. We need to adapt and be flexible and go with the flow of the changes, because there's nothing we can do to stop the changes. You know, that's the only constant thing in life is change.
Yes. Yeah. But and remember, one of the things we get caught up and fixated on something like the destination.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is where my destination is. Well, sometimes it's where the lessons are, the greatest growth, and actually the best memories are made is in the journey.
Yes.
You know, the destination is great. And, you know, it's good to have a destination, and, you know, being married to somebody who's an ops person, which means he's very operational and very logistical in civilian term. It's a great thing because, you know, he's very like, okay, so we have to do the whole time distance thing. And he's over there, he's smiling.
But really, if we're alive, we really don't have a destination. We just keep moving and going and
that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of people that do have a preconceived destination. I'm going to be a good person for my whole life so that I can go to heaven that they told me about. Right. And there's, you know, 50 billion different ways to get to heaven, you know, like, you know, there may not be the quickest way. I don't necessarily want the quickest way to heaven. Do you? I don't want the quickest way.
No.
I want the journey that's going to have me end up at the pearly gates going, hell, what a ride. That was awesome. Can I go again?
Stick with me, kid.
Yes.
But yeah, you know, and so the journey and there is a destination, whatever we pin it on and it can be, you know, short. Like today, we had very specific things, and I'm using today as an example because it was kind of interesting how it kind of fell together. But we had, you know, like Phil, because he's getting on the plane tomorrow, he had to take a COVID test, so he had to go do that, and I had a specific time. Then we knew I had to be back here in time to do 3 Crones in the woo woo. So, you know, you have those fixed things that you know are happening, that you know that have to happen, and then you kind of plug other things in around it. And now you can be obsessed about, oh, well, it has to happen exactly the way I've plugged it in. Or you can go, well, you know, I have this, but maybe if something else more exciting happens and you're flowful with it, I'll do that instead.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that you know, that happened with
be stuck to, but we've got to stop everything in the middle of the day to go home and cook lunch or you can swing by McDonald's. Okay.
Yeah, and we were trying to fix, trying to have those moments, plugging everything in, and we had a great experience. Funny enough, we went to a place that we ate when we were up here in last August with Genevieve.
There's
and we
another
had the
clue,
same server.
everyone. They were there in August. Sorry.
What?
Okay, we were in The Hague in August, and that's where we were. And we went to The Hague today, and so we were eating there, and we had the same server. And Kevin was like, "Were you working here in August? I recognize you." And it ends up she was our same server. Her name's Sophie, and very sweet. And so it was, it's about for me, it's about being flexible, which again, Larimar is about flow. There's lots of flow, lots of movement within that stone. And so, you'll find that if you can have those fixed points, right? Like I was saying, there are these fixed points. And then you know that how your journey's going to go. Like when you're traveling on a road trip, Gayle's going to be traveling on a road trip. She's going to have fixed points where she's going to be stopping on her road trip.
Yep.
But so, sometimes there's going to be ebb and flow within that.
Yeah.
And other times it's going to be like, oh no, I gotta be there by this time because I have to be there. I have an appointment or whatever the case may be. But we all have those in our daily routine. Think about if you have kids, right? And you have to go get them off the bus. That's one of those fixed points.
Yes.
And it's okay to understand you have fixed points, but you also can have flexibility. And I realize for those of you who are OCD about having a very set schedule, this probably is not computing with you.
Well, there goes your Uranus and Taurus in the mix right there.
One wants fix and the other one wants to fly free.
Right.
Yeah. But you can work both. Mm-hmm. You really can. You can have both in your life. And having, the support, and Larimar helps with that. It helped me. That was one of the things that when I was wearing Larimar, I wore every day for a year. Mm-hmm. Probably almost 2 years, every day. And it helped me with a lot of things. And one of the things that helped me understand is the rigidity doesn't have to be so.
I like that word.
That's so there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Because I don't know. So when my jaw hurt, my neck always hurt. I was like constantly in this rigid. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My neck and jaw stopped hurting.
There's no flow.
There wasn't because, everything I was too fixated on the fixed points. Mm-hmm. And we get like that. And
we struggle when we get like that.
You do. And yes, very much so. Mm-hmm. And you can get like that and it not be yours.
Right.
That's a whole different show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. I used to, along those lines, just quickly before we move on to the next segment.
Yep.
I was working a job when I was back down in Arizona that for years, my jaw would just ache. Mm-hmm. And I had this pain that felt like somebody had stabbed me in the back of the shoulder. Mm-hmm. Right. And it would not go away. It just would not go away. And it probably took about 2 months after I stopped working that job before that pain started to go away. Because I had not realized it at the time, but I was just so tense trying to live up to other people's story about who I was. Yeah. Instead of being empowered to do the things that I do and create the magic that I create for their benefit. And it was, we don't even talk about round holes and square pegs and shit like that, because it was 3D chess on that kind of level. It was,
I'm sure there's an illness associated with that.
Huh?
I'm sure there's an illness associated with.
I'm positive. I'm positive. How many women walk around with that hump on their back?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
you
the
want to talk about
Dowager song?
osteoporosis. Well, you want to talk about posture. And why is the posture like that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Roll your shoulders back, ladies.
That's
Let the
right.
girls
Tits
out.
up. Knockers up, honey. My mother used to love this stand-up comedian from the 50s called Rusty Warren. If you get a chance, YouTube, Google her. She used to do songs called, like Knockers Up. And she's great. Anyway, she's funny. All right, so let's take a look at this. Thank you so much to our Coven of Joy. We would love for more people to join us in the Coven of Joy, and you can do so by visiting patreon.com/3 Crones and the Woo Woo.
Yes, and please do.
Yes.
And we will. And when I get back, we three need to have a meeting. Yes.
Okay. I knew that Krista was traveling this week, and I just kind of slid her a little like, do we have any more people to put on the tags when I was doing all things yesterday? So yeah, we've got a whole bunch of freaking back office stuff to handle, which is wonderful.
Yes. It's good. It's a good thing to have, isn't it?
Exactly.
All right.
Gold-plated problems. All right. So today's card of the day, we have the Emperor, and this is from Galaxy Tarot, which always gives us a great insight for the day.
It's a 4.
It's a 4, right? It's a 4. Excellent. Oh my gosh, did I not save that? Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. Give me some background music here. All right, beautiful. Great job. Thank you. All right. So today, make a to-do list and get to it. No excuses. You can get a lot of meaningful work done today, but only if you take responsibility for yourself. And I know a lot of you are going to hear that like, oh, a list. I hate lists. I don't do lists. I flow. Okay, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. But you'll still want to have some sort of fluid level of priorities in this is important, this is not. And that's what this is all about. This is about choosing for yourself what is important in your life and what is not serving you right now. Wow, the theme comes around once again.
Yes.
Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing.
Now we do have like the Taurus side of this. When the Emperor appears in a reading, it's time to think about logically and rationally about your situation. Rules, stability, structure are central to the current situation. And if you have a position of leadership, use your intellect to make the best decisions for your team. That's where we can pull that Larimar in, because we're able to actually hear what others around us are needing, are able to flow more in communication with that, all of that. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes sense to me. I totally agree with that.
Awesome. So that's what's going to lead us into what we're going to talk about today. Communicating with calm and clarity. This is something that has been close to impossible for me over the last 3 or 4 days, right? The hackles are up. Everything is, why are you asking me that? What is this? I'm just like up to here, right? So that's when we really need to look at what exactly is going on. We've got a lot of energy coming in from the CMEs, from the sun. Coronal mass ejections there's going to be another one sideswiping the planet today. So you may have a few little, weird things like, communications issues and stuff like that. And it's not, even though Mercury's going into retrograde, it's not Mercury retrograde yet, right? It's just kind of like a big old flash that's making the whole world go deer in the headlights. All right. So we've got that. We've got Beltane. We've got the black moon, which I don't care where you look on the internet. The black moon is not the black moon. Okay. No. It's not that the moon is turned black. All right. It's not a big, huge deal like that. It's very similar to the blue moon. Right. But exactly opposite. When we have a blue moon, it means that there's been 2 full moons in the same calendar month. Okay. which calendar months are arbitrary as it is, because it's not set up on the universal time grid anyway. Okay.
Yes.
This is a story we tell ourselves. Okay.
Yes.
So black moon is just the opposite of the blue moon. It's when there's 2 new moons in a given calendar month. Right. So for those of us who have born under the Lilith moon or the black moon, where we have no satellites out there in the universe actually standing in dominion over who we are, it can be extremely chaotic because you're going with the ebb and pull of everything else in nature, right? And the other influences that are happening. So all of that is basically to say that if that has been so for you, right, classify that on the edge, my bucket cannot stand one more fucking drop in it energy. Okay. For this doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
I choose to let this go.
Yeah.
And then what's left for you in that space? Isn't it freaking just all of a sudden quiet?
Yeah.
I choose to let go of what does not serve me the way I choose to be served. I mean, because you can work with anything, right?
Yeah.
You can work with anything. I love a challenge. Right. And my friends and family look at me and go, why do you make life so hard for yourself? If life was easy, what's the point of living? Exactly. For me, for other people, they might just get the same thing out of a completely placid ocean. I'd be going, let's stir up some water here. Right.
My favorite ocean is a winter one.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. I love the Southern Ocean. She and I connect.
Nice.
Yes, she is something fierce, but amazing and magical. I remember standing there looking at the Southern Ocean. And for those of you who don't know where that is, that's like under, down under, like I was in Australia at the time. There you go. Yes. And so yeah, those are my favorite kind of oceans, the ones that have a lot of white caps.
Nice. I like that a lot. So yeah, let's as we're looking over these next few days, these few days ahead of us, right? Now is the time to make sure that we are centered on ourselves, as always. Doing what we need to open up those peaceful lines of communication, including listening, including interplaying off of those around us, getting clear about what parts of our life up to this point have fulfilled their purpose in our life.
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
And thanking it and sending it on its way, whether it's putting a roof rack from your car on Facebook Marketplace and selling it, or if it's going, all of these wonderful photos are 20 some years old. Let's switch them out and put fresh photos in the frames, and moving along with a little bit more clarity about where you're headed, what it is that you'd like to bring in, what kind of structures would actually work for you going forward in community, in flow with everything else. Okay.
Structures that are more sustainable.
Yes. And become part of the Coven of Joy. If you haven't already, right? We've got a couple of levels of it. First of all, there's the people that come and watch. And when we put out a call for a Reiki circle, they do it, right? That's wonderful. We love you. Thank you so very much. And then there's the ones that want to take it up a notch. And we have an offering for that on Patreon. For as little as $4 a month, you can come in, get backstage stuff, see stuff that we're doing behind the scenes. Krista, tell them about all the things that you've got planned for Patreon.
So here we go. We're starting off right new, and we're trying to learn a little bit more with Patreon. And sadly, we had a small death on my family. It was our puppy dog. He lived a good life. However, he also, that distracted me from what I need. Well, in any case, you all know I don't need
what has to be done there. Yeah.
Things didn't happen the way they were supposed to. However, when we are up, we are going to be on Patreon, and with just a basic $4 a month, once a week. We're going to post something extra. And like I posted a printable reminder of the next quarter's crystals of the week, so you guys can look ahead, maybe go to a crystal show, a crystal shop. Now that things are open and we're able to have more access, this will allow you to be able to do that. Then I have these beautiful singing bowls. This is what I'm going to do. Now what Gayle and Damaris will do will be their thing. I'm going to be probably the beginning of next week setting my singing bowls up and inviting you all who are on Patreon. Yeah, I think I'm seeing Monday. So Monday, I will do a live singing bowl meditation for those who are on Patreon. Now, if you've never been part of a sound vibration crystal singing bowl experience, let me tell you, it will rock your world. So if you are a Patreon member, I will send you an invitation, and then you'll of the exact date and time, which will be on Monday. And then you guys will be able to join us. And then eventually we're going to be doing it where you get more access to the three of us, because we're going to have a Q&A.
Yes.
And I say eventually, it's just that we need to set up the dates. That's what we need to do. So then when you're a Patreon, you'll have Q&As with us. You'll have additional, we're going to have another membership as we grow. We'll do other levels. So then you get different access to us as a group and each of us. So yeah, Damaris had a great idea. One was being able to ask us direct questions and getting direct responses through Patreon, which will be a little bit different than what we do right now with those who are on Facebook. But we have a couple of really interesting ideas, and drop in here the comments what else you would like from us.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Excellent. I do want to share this with you because this person shares all of our sentiments to you. Losing Ramage is not a small thing. He was a pup that was loved around the world, and he will be greatly missed.
And he really will be and stuff. And I should post, we had him cremated, and you're talking about doing something ecological. So in his little cremation urn, it's an actual biodegradable urn.
Ooh,
so
I like that.
Actually decide that we want to bury him or plant him.
I love that.
Nice.
We spoke about that in a previous show about using biodegradable stuff and taking care of our planet.
I've long said that when I pass away, I want to be cremated and my ashes tilled into a pink Queen Elizabeth rose bush's roots.
Okay,
that's exactly that's what I want. I don't need granite. I just want a rose bush.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. I'd like an oak tree, maybe.
Ooh,
I like trees too. Yeah.
All right. Let's say congratulations. We are over. We are way over. Let's take a moment to say congratulations to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner.
Yeah, we are way over.
Mr. Reginald Seabreeze. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Reggie. Awesome. I know Reggie.
Winner?
Yeah, he's over here.
Oh, is he a first-time winner?
Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah.
And I love to see more men joining the group. I really do. I really do, because you definitely belong here, and we're so happy to have you here. But Reggie, for those of you who don't know, and maybe you don't know Reggie, what you will win is a 30-minute reading with any one of us three Crones. So if you choose me, it will be either an EFT tapping session or a intuitive tarot reading. If you choose Damaris, it will be either a intuitive tarot reading or a numerology report. Or if you choose Krista, it will be one of her handy dandy super duper crystal grid tarot readings. So whichever one you choose is entirely up to you, but reach out to one of us to schedule to collect your gift. And for all of the rest of you, please let us know in the comments if you would like to see us continue giving these away every week, or if you'd like to see something different.
You know, I was thinking when you used to give away your stones and I got that slab. Oh my God, I love that selenite slab.
I still have 2 of those selenite slabs that I discovered in unpacking here. So maybe we'll throw those into a couple of community baskets later this year or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun for something, maybe a big thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so part of a bigger thing. Yeah.
I do have to answer the question of where I am.
Wait, I have one more
okay, one more guess.
Hold on. No, right. One more, I guess kind of there we go.
All right.
Is that close?
Yes, that's exactly where he yes, that is very good.
Is that where you're at now?
I am less than 5 kilometers from there. Yes.
Wow.
In a small town called Oudida. It's okay. It's Oud. Oudida.
That's that.
Oudida. I'll spell it out, but it's Oudade. And I am going to share. I shared it on my personal page, but I'm going to share it with everybody on the 3 Crones. We have little lambs that aren't too far from here.
I saw that.
And I'm going to share that with everybody. They were hootenanny last night.
Oh my gosh.
They were hysterical. So you have to see this, but this place it's really wonderful. We're surrounded by canals. Actually, I can walk out to a canal and go for a paddle if I want. So yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Well, fantastic. And thanks for answering that. Make sure you put that in the comments for people as well, if you would. And as you were telling us, I'm like, well, you know what? That's not even fair to the people who can read minds, because you couldn't even pronounce it. They couldn't even pick it out of your head.
Oh no, but I kept spelling it. So if somebody wanted to spell it, here, I just typed it in. I don't know if that will post. There you go.
Yeah.
Oudida.
Beautiful.
That's where I'm at. Oudida. And actually, the Dutch say it even different. But Oudida.
I love it. I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you again so very much for your patience with us going almost 10 minutes over and, just being here with us today. We love you very much. One quick reminder again, please send love, Reiki, SOP, bioenergetics, all that you can to Allison's brother as he gets through this very harrowing time. Extra love to Allison and her family, and keep us posted on the healing process. We are a coven of joy, and we are here for each other when we need to be. So thank you for your participation in this group. You mean the world to all of us.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'll take a picture of the bear and I'll show it to everybody, but I'll get her address and send it to her.
Beautiful. All right. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.